Luigi. Shush. Let's get the mic turned up just a tiny little bit. Let's get the mic turned up just a tiny little bit. How are we? How's the audio? How are you? Oh. We love our trash pandas. And frankly, we're making raccoons affordable again. Every American, every good one at least, every God-fearing Republican deserves one raccoon. And frankly, we're going to be using tariffs. We're putting tariffs on China, and we're going to be getting free raccoons. Mexico will pay for the raccoons. Mexico will pay for the raccoons. I'm not loving this no notifications thing, chat. I ain't loving it neither. Trust me, I'm the streamer. I don't like that. I gotta hang on. Whoa. I ain't need too much for sure. Sorry, that was playing at the gym. Very, very good song. Let me see. Is there like a thing I could do here for notify viewers? No. There ain't diddly shit I could do about that. I don't think so. There ain't nothing I could do. Strange. Strange! Ain't nothing I can do about that. Ain't nothing I can do about that shit. Ain't nothing I can do about that. Look at this guy, huh? Look at this little guy. I like him. I like that guy. I like that feller. That's a good feller. Pixel Wayne says, I genuinely think YouTube flagged you and is preventing you from notifying viewers. Well, that would suck. Maybe. I mean, it makes sense. I don't know. Oh. All right. Let me text my manager and ask him about that. All right. I just texted Avi about that. We'll see. At least you get notifications in the Discord. I didn't even know you could fucking do that. I didn't know you could do that. And we're live. Here's the full conversation today between Elon Musk and CNDNC's David Faber. I like David. He's nice. We love David. Frankly, David. Oh, David. Chris, will you actually run for president when you're eligible? We'll see. I mean, I want to. I don't got money. I'm broke as shit. That's the problem. You know, everybody who's ever run for president has had so much goddamn fucking money. But we're going to watch this little interview together. I ain't going to be live for too long. But I figured we ought to, we ought to watch this interview together. I don't know if you guys have been seeing clips from it, but, like, Elon's been whining like a little bitch. He's been whining like a little bitch. Before we start recording, I do want to find this specific clip. And I think Kyle Kalinske made a video about it and should have the fucking clip. And I want to find what video he had it on. It was on Twitter. Who tweeted this?
Over. So here, let's walk.
Hold on. Aaron Rupar. Okay, Aaron Rupar tweeted that shit. Aaron, I'm coming. Oh, Aaron Rupar.
Yes, thank you, Lord Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson. I didn't get one either, and I've definitely been subscribed to you for a minute. It's not about subscription. You have to hit the notification bell. You guys know you have to hit the notification bell, right? There's a little bell. Look at this. Go fuck yourself. All right, let me find this clip. Yes, mine are on. My guy, come on now. All right, listen. Don't you call me out now. Don't you call me out now. All right? Don't do this to me. Listen, I don't fucking know. Why the fuck would I know? I've seen it happen to other political commentators. YouTube doesn't like it when people have opinions opposing the president. Yeah, there really aren't that many political commentators that live stream on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I don't know many. Of course, I know Hassan, but he streams on Twitch. And I know a lot of political content on YouTube, but I don't know many other live streamers. J.D. Dubois says, sorry, my glorious leader. I should not have yelled. It's okay. Yo, I shaved this myself. Is it good? I know it is.
For a reliable notification when Chris is live, join the Discord.
We're going to blame the YouTube for now. We're going to blame the YouTube. And frankly, there's these YouTubers and they're making lies. They're making lies about me. And I think it's time we crack down on the YouTubers. The YouTubers! You look very handsome, my glorious leader. Thank you, JD Dubois. Looking cute, brother. Thank you, Ludus Bubula. I get notifications for your videos, but not the lives. I don't fucking know. Somebody look up real quick if you have to turn that on as the content creator. Like, somebody look it up. You know? Solve it. You're like my AI. I could use AI, but I'm not gonna. You wanna know why? Humans are better. Get to it. Chris, what's your opinion about starting a business in Trump's economy? I mean, starting a business is never going to be cheap. It's never going to be easy. I don't know, dog. I couldn't tell you. I don't know shit about starting a business. I don't know shit, bro. I'm a dumbass YouTuber. The fuck would I know? Bro just ignored me. Hey, Chris, did you know that the average person can fit around 9 raccoons? Fuck, Jack. What the fuck, dog? Going live on TikTok again? Nah. Nah, bro. Luigi. Why? Hi. What are you doing? What are you doing? Wow. You want to come up? You want to come up and say hi? No, you don't want to come up. Understood. What? Where's a toy? I'll throw you a toy. You want me to throw you a toy? go. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. I am also one of the unhinged. See, this is why I'm not joining that fucking Discord. I'm not joining your Discord. It's never gonna happen. It's our Discord. It's my Discord. But I'm not getting in there. All right. Why? Because there's a let me just guess, there's a subgroup called the Unhinged with a capital U. Thank you, Jordan. Precisely, my friend. We have cookies. Fuck out of here. Not gonna happen. Anyway. Grippy sock jail. That's nutty. Anyway. I gotta find this fucking clip. Dude, Aaron Rupar tweets so fucking much. It's crazy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me try Googling it. You got Lord Regent. You got mods, the socks, the bots. Y'all are nutty. Y'all are criminals. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are fucking crazy. Okay, I gotta find the title of this. Elon is running from politics? No, he's not running from politics. He was fucking excommunicated by MAGA. Trump fucking excommunicadoed his ass. All right, let me find this clip.
Walk you through it.
Aaron Rupar was your worth at CNBC. It was CNBC. Is this it? Yeah, found it. Found it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start the video by showing this little clip because I don't know where it is, but I have seen this clip. And then we're going to watch this entire fucking interview, okay? It's only 24 minutes. This can't possibly be that fucking painful. We've been through so much worse, chat. We've been through so much fucking worse than this. Dino3382 just became a loyalist. Thank you very much, Dino. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, I managed your reply. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Not sure. Okay. Let me get the stream link here. We need a new name for the... It's a genuine horror. Don't worry, guys. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay. Now tracking. Real-time dashboard.
It's official. The Pentagon accepts a luxury jet from Qatar to use as Air Force One. It'll cost the taxpayers $1 billion to tear it apart and put it back together. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I like your shirt. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let me get the recording started just in case something goes wrong. What is up? Hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti, your perfect and humble leader. And welcome back to the Valenti VOD. Elon Musk, he did this interview with CNBC, I think it was yesterday. And not only does he look like weirdly pale as fuck, like he looks ill. Or just like, I don't know, he looks like he hasn't been sleeping or some shit. But not only that, but he like bitches and moans that getting into politics, like, what, you know, like people think I'm a Nazi now because I did a Nazi salute. Like, maybe that's why. And that's just part of it, brother. You were also raised in apartheid South Africa with like fucking Peter Thiel, and you were taught that the Afrikaner are superior to the black people around you. Like, let's be real. Anyway, so Elon Musk, I don't know if you guys know this, he's kind of been like excommunicated from the White House. Like, I mean, like not literally, but he's been, you know, Trump, all of MAGA and Trump and the fucking like Marco Rubio, everyone in the Oval Office, all these fucking arguments are coming up, screaming matches. Like, Elon Musk is a fucking loser. He paid a group of kids to pretend to make him better at like Diablo. You know, like, and then, I mean, motherfucker's got 14 kids. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's watch. Here's a short clip from the interview, and then we're going to watch the entire interview. Before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, which is, for some reason, not working. Fuck you, notification bell. Do me a favor, hit the notification bell and turn it on just to make sure it fucking works for me. And then also, if you want to support the channel financially, because this is real independent media, and I've got no funding, you can become a patron on Patreon for $5. You could become a member on YouTube for $5. You could buy some dope-ass Valenti videos and merch with, right down below. And you could use a 40% off discount link for the Vantage subscription on Ground News, located in the description down below.
Other than that, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, let's dive right in.
My question is more about your work at Doge, for example. Was that worth it? You know, to the extent you are now, Elon, you were a somewhat divisive figure 2 years ago, but now you really are. I mean, there are people who love you, but there are a lot of people who dislike you, some of whom were your customers. And I wonder, was it worth it?
Yeah, real quick. Back in the day, when Tesla was first coming out, when people didn't know that, like, Elon Musk is a fucking Nazi, you know, who the fuck do you think were buying Teslas? They're wildly expensive, and they're electronic cars, brother. You gotta really care about the environment, and you gotta be able to afford one. And especially back in the day, before there were Tesla chargers all over the place. You know what I'm saying? You had, like, it's kind of a whack purchase. Do you think the fucking guys down south who voted for Donald Trump were driving Ford F-150s, fucking gas guzzlers? Do you really think they give a fuck about a Tesla? About a Tesla? Get the fuck out of here, bro. So, of course, yes, it is literally in the beginning. It was literally your own clients, your own fans who were like, dude, this guy's fucking weird now. What is going on? They're the ones who abandoned this shit. Dude, I've seen stickers in the back of Teslas that say, what is it, like vintage pre-Nazi model. I've seen that, especially here in New York, because a lot of people fucking bought Teslas, but they ain't no fucking Elon fucking cock gobbler.
The undertaking at Doge and everything else that you've done and how outspoken you've been.
Hold on, rewind it.
I wonder, Was it worth the undertaking at Doge and everything else that you've done and how outspoken you've been in terms of the things you believe
No,
in
absolutely not.
to
fucking
antagonize so many
hate myself
potential
now.
buyers and or users of things like a robo-taxi?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, what I've learned is that legacy media propaganda is very effective at making people believe things that aren't true.
What?
What would an example of that be?
That I'm a Nazi, for example.
Right.
And how many
Do you,
legacy media publications, talk shows, whatever, try to claim that I was a Nazi because of some random hand gesture
Jesper?
at a rally where all I said was that my heart goes out to you, and I was talking about space travel.
Okay, a random hand gesture where you said my heart goes out to you, and you were allegedly talking about space travel. Let me just let me double check that for you real quick, if that's all right. Elon Musk. Sig Heil. Let's see. Let's see. I think it was this. Isn't this what happened, my brother? Hold on. Oh! Oh,
And I just
wait.
wanna
That's
say
just the first time.
Billionaire oligarchs speaking at the inauguration.
One. Oh, they cut it from this one. Brother, you did it twice. You did it
Make that
twice.
happen.
We all remember it, okay? You ain't fooling nobody, Elon. You ain't fooling fucking nobody. Anyway. We're going to watch the entire fucking interview, okay? Because you saw the clip. You'll see the clip online. You'll see the clip in many a place. But nobody, and frankly, nobody will hold your hand through the whole interview like I will. I'm going to grab you by the kneecap now. There you go. Now I've got your knees. Let's watch it.
Thank you. And Elon Musk is here. We're in the lobby of the Gigafactory here in Austin. Last time I was here,
Wait, what did he call it? Wait.
Thank you. And Elon Musk is here. We're in the lobby of the Gigafactory here.
The Gigafactory. Look at his face. The Gigafactory. Like what? Giga Bowser's in there? Get the fuck out of my face.
Here in Austin. Last time I was here was your annual meeting a couple of years ago. So thank you for having us back.
I'm gonna hide the chat box so you guys
got a
can see his
robotaxi
face
right behind you.
in a second.
Yeah, yeah, you can see it right
Okay.
there. And obviously, you've been meeting with the transportation secretary.
Yeah.
Are you going to have full autonomous on the roads of Austin by the end of June?
Yes.
You are. What gives you that confidence?
We have cars driving 24/7 with drivers in the cars, and we see essentially no interventions. So.
Do not get in a cyber cab. And I really feel like this isn't political, dog. I don't care. Like, brother, if you voted for Donald Trump, I still care about your safety. If you, brother, do not get in a fucking self-driving cab in a world where, like, drunk drivers in Ford F-150s exist. That is so nuts.
Now, we want to be very careful with the first introduction of unsupervised full self-driving, meaning that the car's driving around with no one in it.
Right.
So we're going to
no one behind a driver's.
Well, yes, and sometimes no one in it at all.
Right.
It's going to pick someone up. So the car has to be incredibly safe. So we're just being, we have thousands of cars that are being tested, which is creating some strange situations where we just drive. There's just a bizarre number of Teslas driving past people's houses. They're like, what's going on?
I think we even saw one last night coming from the airport. Yeah, driving at night.
Bro, I swear to God, if I'm ever cut off by a Tesla and there's no one in it, I'm gonna crash the fuck out. Like, oh my God, dude. I don't want to live in that world where there's just cars driving around with no one in them. That's so nuts. That's nuts.
Night alone.
So
It
just
looked very lonely.
it's just they do look a little lonely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's looking good for Austin next month.
Yeah, some estimates have been that you're only going to have 10 to 12 of them on the road initially. I mean, it's going to be a very small amount. Is that correct?
Yeah, for the first week.
First week. How do you see it ramping up?
Well, we'll have to see how well it does, but I think it's prudent for us to start with a small number, confirm that things are going well, and then scale it up proportionate to how well we see it's doing.
Right, and what's going to be a judge of how well it's doing?
I mean, are there any incidents? Are there any interventions?
Brother, are you preemptively like, yeah, dude, these things are gonna fucking hit people? Like, that's what it sounds like. He sounds like he's like, all right, how many are we gonna count? Like, what's the low ball? What are we thinking? We got like 3 fucking kids or some shit? Like,
but we want to deliberately take it slow. I mean, we could start with 1,000 or 10,000 on day one, but I don't think that would be prudent. So we'll start with probably 10 for a week, then increase it to 20, 30, 40, and I think by, say, we'll probably be at 1,000 within a few months, and then we'll expand to other cities. So expand to San Francisco, California. Los Angeles,
is that
San
a real
Antonio.
Possibility in the not too distant future? I mean, Texas
of
is very different. I don't need to tell you than California when it comes to regulation.
Regulation.
They don't really have much here in terms of dealing with autonomous, but it's a different story in California.
oh, I hate regulation, but I love $32 billion in government grants. Fucking, what are we talking about?
Yeah, but California's already approved. Waymo's been doing autonomous driving in
I know they
California
have,
for a while. So.
right? But do you need a separate
Brother,
approval? Or
again, fuck a Waymo. Dead ass. Fuck a Waymo.
Yeah.
somehow-
Right now, the approval process is very haphazard and sort of state by state and sometimes city by city.
we were talking to the Secretary of Transportation about that very fact a moment ago. Yeah.
Right. So it's going to be important to have a unified set of national regulations for self-driving cars. Otherwise, you're going to get into this weird situation where if you're driving from Maine to New York, you're going to go through 10 different sets of regulations. Cars are going to behave differently. It's not going to make any sense.
Differently? You're saying once the car crosses state lines, it's just gonna behave differently? What the fuck? This isn't... It's not ready! It's not ready!
So,
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Take it back. Don't tweak. Think about it. This is the same guy who said we were like fucking 5 years from, what, conquering Mars? This was the same guy. I think he said the same thing about self-driving cars like fucking years ago. No tweak. Remember, this man's a liar. Hold on, let me refresh this.
it's about 0 to 1. Once you have a proof point,
Peter Thiel. He's bringing up Peter Thiel, dog.
working.
Peter Thiel's one of those fucking technocrats. You know, one of those fucking neo-reactionary fucking Curtis Yarvin tech feudalist fucking weirdos. Pro-apartheid, like raised just like Elon Musk, raised in apartheid South Africa. You know, I think one of the Afrikaner, like, you know, the Afrikaner that Trump are bringing over. This is all connected. All of this is directly connected back to tech fucking feudalism. These are technocrats. They want to complete. These people do not want democracy. Oh, Jesus.
Nomine Padre et Filii et Spiritus Sancto.
Then scaling up.
Wait, we're 5 minutes and 40 seconds in here. Let me refresh the tab and see what happens.
Right.
$99 a month? Wait. Oh my God, this is Black Mirror! It's $99 a month for the fucking self-driving? Oh. Dude, I
right. Oh, welcome to late stage capitalism. And then wait. Just so you understand, the only way to have fully functional, completely 100% safe self-driving vehicles is if all of them are self-driving, right? Because they need to be on the same grid. They need to have a hive mind. They need to know how to move out of the way, and this car moves out of that way. All it takes is one drunk asshole with a Ford F-150 barreling down the highway to fuck up all of those AI. So the only way that you can possibly do this is by mandating self-driving vehicles. Now, I don't know if that's 100 years in the future or 500 years in the future, but that is the only possible way that you can do this. See, he's already lining you up for it. He's saying that the self-driving cars need to be safer than a car driven by a person. Which would imply that you would want the safer thing to be mandated because it's safer. Okay, well, are you going to make them all dirt cheap? Are you going to make them all dirt cheap too? Yeah, no, deadass. One day they're going to fucking pass a goddamn Citizen Plus package because everything's fucking subscriptionized, and be like, hey, listen, you're still a citizen, but, you're not a Citizen Plus, which means that you don't get to vote. like, what the fuck, dude? Until you fucking make self-driving ambulances, fire fucking trucks, and cop cars, which you fucking will, then you're going to put your goddamn fucking Tesla bots as the cops, and then we're gonna be living under fucking iRobot in the next 15 goddamn minutes. Oh.
Air engine or a police.
Oh, and don't forget Neuralink. Don't also forget that this guy owns 2/3 of every satellite orbiting planet Earth. Let me say that again. Elon Musk owns 66% of every satellite orbiting planet Earth. This guy's like fucking Lex Luthor. If Lex Luthor was like actually evil instead of it like a kind of like an anti-hero, you know what I mean? Because like Lex Luthor's like, that thing's a fucking alien, bro, humans first. And I'm like, I get it. But you're taking it a bit far. That's Superman. Anyway, I'm getting on a fucking tangent here. $50 says that ride didn't happen. I don't know. Comment down below if you can find out, because this is just comment down below and tell me if that ride happened. I'll bet you $50 it did not.
Obviously be something, a key focus. Business Insider, take it for what you want, but I saw this over the weekend. They did a test between Waymo and Tesla, and they weren't critical at all.
Business Insider is not a real publication.
No, but it
oh shit! Whatever the fuck Business Insider said is definitely not gonna look good for Elon. He's already like, oh, it's not a real publication. Let's see.
did seem,
they're fake.
regardless of
They're
whether
fake.
we want to have a debate about their journalistic integrity, which I don't.
No, he's literally putting his hand up like, don't say it. Don't say it.
The test
I mean,
itself, let me just share it with you
Yeah.
and get your reaction, which was the Waymo, ultimately, they said, proved better, in part only because it avoided, with its geofencing, one very difficult intersection that the Tesla chose to go through. It stopped at a red light, but then it went through the red light. What's your reaction?
Look, I'm not going to comment on some Business Insider article.
But is that a concern at all?
Weak.
Because in a way, there's no geofencing, so it's like
we
it's
do.
happy to go on the highways in a way that perhaps a Waymo's not. I guess my question is that a concern at all for you in terms of it encountering things that are still sort of a crucial test and perhaps it fails?
No, first of all, that actually should have been a test of supervised self-driving, supervised self-driving, not unsupervised self-driving. So the assumption there is that you have a person who is going to take over.
Right.
So their test made no sense.
Okay.
When we deploy the cars in Austin, we are actually going to deploy it not to the entire Austin region, but only to the parts of Austin that we consider to be the safest. So we will geofence it.
You will.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
So when he says the safest, I'm assuming that he means he's going to deploy these things in the least populated areas of Austin, Texas. So, like, that's so weirdly dystopian to me. Because obviously that's what he means. So there's going to be these empty, self-driving Teslas roaming around the least populated areas of Texas? That's gonna, or Austin, Texas. That is. That's so weirdly dystopian.
It's not going to take intersections unless we are highly confident it's going to do well with that intersection. It'll just take a route around that intersection.
But there won't be a safety driver in the car.
Correct.
Right. The car. It won't. There's not going to be somebody sitting there.
Right.
But you did have ads for vehicle operator autopilots. What was that about then? Are there going to be people who are remotely sort of monitoring the performance of the fleet?
Yeah.
And what will they do?
So they'll just be. We're going to be extremely paranoid about the deployment, as we should be. It would be foolish not to be. We'll be watching what the cars are doing very carefully, and as we find, as confidence grows, less of that will be needed.
This is an absolute blatant PR stunt. You are right. So here's what we're gonna do. I just stopped the recording. We're gonna keep watching this, okay? Because I wanna be able to kind of cover what he said in the entire interview and kind of plug the YouTube live stream. But we're just gonna cover the end part where he was like bitching and moaning. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Because we're not giving this fucking guy free advertising. Are you out of your fucking mind?
You know, again, you spoke about it, and we spoke about it a couple of years ago. And obviously, your investor base, many of whom are watching right now, are interested in the revenue and profitability of this ride-hailing, robo-taxi and autonomous driving opportunity. BYD, I believe at this point in China, is now offering levels of autonomy for free. I mean, are you confident you're going to be in a position to continue to get a premium for that particular level?
Well, interestingly, in China, we're not allowed to train on videos in China. So when we released Full Self-Driving, it was actually just trained on the rest of the world, but not in China.
Mm-hmm.
And the tests by local
the Chinese are like, brother, you're not recording our entire nation. Are you fucking out of your mind? You're a fucking private businessman, or I guess now you're the goddamn Führer. But like, what government in their right mind would allow a private, almost a trillionaire, the richest man on planet Earth, to scan their entire nation? That's nutty.
Chinese publications, I think, concluded that even without training on local Chinese roads, the Tesla self-driving was the best.
It was the best.
Yes.
But again, I mean, is the technology...
In fact, there's some pretty wild videos where people are like doing self-driving, which we don't recommend, obviously, on like narrow mountain roads, including one where there's a sharp precipice on either side and no barriers, and they're
is the video's watching delayed? Yeah, dude, it's not me. It's this video, and the only other way to get this is locked behind a paywall. So we're gonna have to deal with that.
Driving across that.
They may have more confidence. Perhaps they have more confidence
again,
in China. I don't
recommend this, but I saw the video.
Are you regulated to have full? Where are you in China right now in terms of your ability to offer that product, though?
Well, we have
ability for you, or is it always going to be that add-on and therefore that?
Example.
I wasn't even going to talk to you about it because, in fact, I do know a number of people who are close to you, and I called them afterwards. And
promoted that as though that was a deliberate Nazi gesture, when in fact every politician, any public speaker.
I found the juice.
That be. And everything else that you've done. And my question is more about your work at Doge, for example. Was that worth it? You know, to the extent you are now, Elon, You were a somewhat divisive figure 2 years ago, but now you really are. I mean, there are people who love you, but there are a lot of people who dislike you, some of whom were your customers. And I wonder, was it worth the undertaking at Doge and everything else that you've done and how outspoken you've been in terms of the things you believe in to antagonize so many potential buyers and or users of things like a robo-taxi?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, what I've learned is that legacy media propaganda is very effective at making people believe things that aren't true.
What would an example of that be?
That I'm a Nazi, for example.
Right.
And how many legacy media publications, talk shows, whatever, try to claim that I was a Nazi because of some random hand gesture at a rally where all I said was that my heart goes out to you, and I was talking about space travel.
Brother, you sig-heiled twice, and you bit your lip and moaned while you did it.
And yet, the legacy media promoted that as though that was a deliberate.
And this was not legacy media, bro. The entire fucking world condemned you for this, dude. All over every social media platform. This had nothing to do with legacy media. In fact, I would say legacy media were kind of like dropping the ball on that story.
Nazi gesture, when in fact every politician, any public speaker who's spoken for any length of time has made the exact same gesture, and yet there's still people out there. And I've never harmed a single person.
No, listen, you know what, Elon? I wasn't.
Now you asked for an example.
I wasn't even going to talk to you about it because, in fact, I do know a number of people who are close to you, and I called them afterwards, and all of them, to a person, were like, "No way, no way."
Of course not.
But that isn't necessarily the perception. The work you've done for Doge has also come, obviously, into the spotlight in a great deal. And, you know, people are upset about USAID being put into the wood chipper. People are upset about AmeriCorps disappearing. People are upset about, and this isn't even on your side, the NIH, and so many other areas that they feel, rightly or wrongly, are being cut as a result of your efforts. And I guess I wonder, as you start to transition now back to Tesla in a more significant way, was it worth it?
Yeah, first of all, any program in USAID that had any semblance of merit was retained and folded into the State Department. So, and if there's some exception to that, we're all ears and we'd love to look at it. We just want to see the evidence that the program was actually doing good, and not just funding graft in DC and warlords in some country. Because over and over again, we saw sympathetic sounding programs.
Yeah, I can.
But when we actually said, well, please show us pictures of the recipients of the aid, or let us get into contact with them. No pictures were forthcoming. They didn't give us any contact information. And we're like, look, we're not going to send money to DC grafters and warlords. That's not a good use.
I love how they keep on shifting it from like condoms in Gaza, and now it's what, DC grafters and warlords. But anyway, this thing is so fucked. We're gonna find Aaron Rupar's old video for it. Let's see, history. That one. Yeah. This is good. This is good. Okay. Real quick, we're gonna watch this. All right. What is up, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs? Welcome to the Valenti VOD. I'm your perfect and humble leader. Elon Musk did this interview on CNDNC, and it's like he was just it's a PR stunt. The whole thing's a publicity stunt. We watched the whole thing fucking live, but there's this one part in the middle of it where he's questioned, like, hey, do you regret like joining the United States government for a little bit? Because I don't know if you guys know this, Elon Musk has been like essentially excommunicated from the Trump regime because he's such a fucking loser. No, like that's dead ass the reason. Like he kept on fighting with everybody in the Oval Office. Like he was fucking with Marco Rubio's work. He's fucking with Pete Hegseth. Like he's just, and he's also just such a fucking loser. He paid kids to make him look better at Diablo. Oh, like, oh my God, he's got 14 kids. The guy's a goober. He tweets 43 times a minute. It's unbelievable. But anyway, we're going to watch this part where he just says, like, I'm not a Nazi. I swear to God, I'm not a Nazi. Meanwhile, we're talking about Elon Musk, who Sig Heiled twice while biting his lip and moaning on the world stage. And not only that, he was raised in apartheid South Africa alongside billionaire technocrat Peter fucking Thiel, right? And genuinely was taught to believe that he and his people were superior to the black natives surrounding them. Not to mention that his grandparents were fucking pro-Hitler freaks. Let's watch. This is a short clip here, but don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you nothing and it helps me immensely. And also, feel free to help the channel out financially by becoming a patron on Patreon, becoming a member on YouTube, buying some of the merch down below, and using the 40% off discount on the Vantage subscription for Ground News in the description below. This is Real Independent Media. I'm broke.
My question is more about your work at Doge, for example. Was that worth it? You know, to the extent you are now, Elon, you were a somewhat divisive figure 2 years ago, but now you really are. I mean, there are people who love you, but there are a lot of people who dislike you, some of whom were your customers.
Yes, that's an important part. Some of whom are your customers. The original people who turned on Elon Musk were his customers for a litany of reasons. But I need you to think about this. Back in the day, bro, when Teslas were first coming out, when they were like, oh my God, self-driving cars, right? Electric vehicles, shit like that. The only people who were buying them were rich, white liberals, bro, because A, you got to care about the environment to buy a fucking electric vehicle. B, you have to be able to afford them. And back in the day, they were like $100,000. And C, you got to be in an area where there's fucking Tesla chargers. And I know that now they're more common, but they were not common, right? So let's fucking, of course it's your own fucking customers.
And I wonder, was it worth the undertaking at Doge and everything else that you've done and how outspoken you've been in terms of the things you believe in to antagonize so many potential buyers and or users of things like a robo-taxi?
Well, I mean, unfortunately, what I've learned is that...
I also want to point out, he looks like shit, dude. Like, he doesn't look happy. He looks very upsetty spaghetti.
Legacy media propaganda is very effective at making people believe things that aren't true.
What would an example of that be?
That I'm a Nazi, for example.
Right.
And how many legacy media publications, talk shows, whatever, try to claim that I was a Nazi because of some random hand gesture at a rally where all I said was that my heart goes out to you, and I was talking about space travel.
Random hand gesture at a rally where all I said was my heart goes out to you, and I was talking about space travel. Hold on a minute, Elon. Are you talking about that? Listen to the grunt. Brother, you fucking moaned. You went, listen. I'm going to turn the volume up. Ready? You hear that? Brother fucking grunted like he was... Brother! What are we talking about? Oh my God. So, listen, I watched this entire interview, and it was just this weird PR stunt where he says that
By the end of 2026, I'm gonna have 1 million self-driving cars in the United States.
mind you, this is the same fucking douchebag who said that he was gonna conquer Mars by what, 2028? Get the fuck out of my face. Same douchebag who said he would have these self-driving cabs 10 years ago, okay? Well, get the fuck out of my face, Elon. And I want to point something out, okay? There's, like, been a dynamic shift in right-wing politics in regards to the way that they look at Elon Musk. For a while there, you know, because the right wing, currently the MAGA cult is a cult, they will embrace anybody among them. And it's almost impressive that Elon Musk was such a fucking loser that he was capable of making a cult turn him away. And it's not like Trump came out and said, Elon is a loser. Oh, I don't like him. Like, no, Trump didn't do that. Elon did this himself. It was a misclick. Someone in chat says it was a misclick. Like, he fucking misclicked and Sig Heiled at the wrong moment. Okay, because you know what this was? You know what this Sig Heil was? This wasn't a moment of his, oh, brother, he's got autism, man. Oh, okay. If he's which one is it? Is he autistic or is he a super genius? Go fuck yourself. It has nothing to do with his autism. I've known autistic people my whole fucking life, okay? They don't run around Sig Heiling, right? But what this was him dosed up on ketamine. This was, what was this? Not election night, inauguration day or some shit. This was him geeked up on ketamine, right? And celebrating. His emotions were skyrocketing, and his immediate thought was, we've won. We finally won. We've won. And then he fucking did a Sig Heil. Because that's who he is inside. You know how it's like when you're, like, people are like, you're most honest when you're drunk, you know, like, and you get pissed drunk and, like, you fucking call somebody and tell them you love them, like, oh, that's your most honest self. Yeah, the same fucking thing goes with Elon and his ketamine and his ketamushi. His ketamarmesan cheese. You know, listen, at this late in the game, if you're still some fucking weird-ass Elon like tongue puncher, you're like tongue punching Elon's fart box, bro, in the year of our Lord 2025, my guy. Ew. Anyway, if you're watching this live, you can stay. If you're watching this pre-recorded, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You can also click that video right over there. I promise you, it's a banger. And I know bangers. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Chris is an ableist. For what? Making fun of Elon Musk? Yeah, bro. I guess I'm an ableist because I think this is fucking insane. But welcome back, Koofs. Welcome back, brother. Guys, now that Koofs is here, open the floodgates of donations / money laundering. Start sending me bread. Daddy needs money to spread Marxist-Leninist propaganda. Autistic people can be smart, Chris? Yeah. I agree. Absolutely. Autism is not an explanation to do this. Autism is not a valid excuse to do this. Let's also watch it again. Let's hear him grunting as he does it. Ready? He said, We got a $2 donation. Thanks, Koofs. Thank you very much, Controlled Chaos. I appreciate that. I work with autistic people, almost have for a full decade. Not one autistic person I've ever met does this. No, dude, it's so true. It's so true. It's such a wild excuse. We got another $2 donation. Did Muhammad Sinwar die? I'm pretty sure Muhammad Sinwar died a long time ago. Right? I'm frankly certain. Oh, shit. Wait, no, that was a different Sinwar? Was that a different Sinwar? Oh, so it's apparently this, he's not wrong. Look at this. Reports suggest that Hamas leader Mohammed Sinwar may have been killed in recent Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. His death has not been officially confirmed by either Israel or Hamas. Okay, so it's possible. It's possible. It suggests that his body was found in a tunnel in Khan Yunis. We'll see. Got another $25 donation. Let's kick it off, guys. Hashtag fuck. Hashtag money laundering. Listen, I mean, if this is true, that could be a potential way to end the war. That would not be... Listen, and this is... Here's the thing, though. Over like 600 or 700 people died from these airstrikes in the past week. You know? There is a vast difference in the way that you take out political leaders in like a civilized nation versus the way that you take them out as a genocidal regime. And what I do want to point out is we killed something like 2 million Iraqis making our way to Osama bin Laden, who wasn't even fucking in Iraq. He was in Pakistan, okay? But when we did get bin Laden, we didn't just bomb Pakistan. You hear what I'm saying? Big difference there. Now, still, America committed a fucking mass atrocity by killing, I think, 2.3 million Iraqis and Afghanis, something like that. You should check out Rodney Hinton Jr. He gives new Luigi. No, I've seen Rodney Hinton Jr. That's the guy who like killed a cop because the cop killed his son. That's relatable. That's understandable. You know, I think that most of society would be able to understand that feeling. W Dino, though. W Dino. No, Luigi. No, Luigi. No, Luigi. No, Luigi. No, Luigi. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I see you charging up a bark. She charges her barks, bro. Oh, she's gonna go tweak, I think. She's got something to say. Louise, what are you doing? Yeah, she's got something to go say. You out of here? You dipping, girl? Catch you later. How did Elon get kicked out of Trump and MAGA's good graces and booted from the Cool Kids Club? By being a fucking weirdo. By doing things like this. Not only that, because of the Elon's approval rating plummeted lower than Trump's was. Like, you have to understand who Trump's voting bloc is. They're not people who would typically like Elon Musk. You know, it's not normal for the MAGA conservative chuds to adopt loving and praising billionaires. That's not the usual for Republicans. It's very abnormal. Hold on. Gotta look at this girl. Waluigi. Hi. Hi, Waluigi. Oh, little baby girl. Little girl, what are you doing? Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right. What the fuck? You burying your face? What are you doing? What a weirdo. Whee. Starts vigorously shitting. Yeah, Ouija's got a weeb, you know. Ouija's got a weeb.
overseas now.
Okay. I'm going to start recording real quick. We've got some breaking news. It seems like potentially in recent Israeli airstrikes in Gaza, which have killed like something between 600 or 700 civilians in the past week or two, it seems like they may have taken out Mohammed Sinwar, the leader of Hamas. And now, again, this is not confirmed by either Israel or Hamas or Gaza or Palestine. But there is, allegedly, his body was found in the underground tunnels of Khan Yunis. So we're going to look at a little bit of this ABC News coverage together. Again, this is not confirmed. Let me get the chair out of there. That's where Bean sits. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely. And this is real independent media. I got no funding. I'm fucking broke. So if you do want to help me out, you can become a patron on Patreon for $5, become a member on YouTube for $5, buy some Valenti Videos merch down below, and use the 40% off discount for Ground News. Before we dive into this, I do want you to know my belief on this situation, like up front. Free Palestine, told it's spelt fucking backwards. Israel is committing a genocide on the Palestinian people. But on top of that, Hamas is guilty of the atrocities they committed on October 7th. Okay? Does that mean that Israel was allowed to commit a fucking genocide and kill 200,000 innocent, mostly women and children? No. Now we're going to watch this. Understood.
Overseas now. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
We also just got oh, nice cough, brother. 5 gifted donations from Ove in the chat. Congratulations to the 5 people who just got an Ove. W-Ove.
Excuse me, struck a defiant tone over the war in Gaza today as criticism of that war grows. In a televised address in Israel, Netanyahu said the entire Gaza Strip will be under Israeli security control by the end of the war. He's also vowing...
Oh, so genocide?
Again, that Israel will continue its operation in Gaza until Hamas is completely eliminated. Netanyahu also doubled down on a controversial U.S. plan to bring aid into Gaza through private American companies. That's as the UN says no aid at all is getting to Palestinians who are just in dire and desperate need. Our Patrick Reevell joins us now with more. So, Patrick, this is a big speech for Netanyahu. He says Israel probably killed the leader of Hamas. What can you tell us?
Jerry, yeah, I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu is still...
Real quick, I do want to say something. I hope you guys don't think that, like, killing the leader of Hamas ends Hamas's movement. That's not how this works. You can't just cut the head off of the snake and then expect all of the genocide to be forgiven and for Hamas to go, well, now that the leader's gone, I guess, you know what, fuck it, just bomb us. Take our land. That's not the problem. The problem is that Israel is an apartheid state that has been practicing a genocide on the Palestinians since like fucking 1948, dog. Ethnic cleansing, relocation, these are all forms of genocide. Let's keep watching.
Still speaking right now, but as you say, the major headline now coming out of this address is that he says that Israel probably eliminated the current leader of Hamas, Mohammed Sinwar.
The current leader. You see my point? The current leader.
Who is the brother of Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, who launched October 7th and who was killed last October. Mohammed Sinwar
Thank you for the gifted membership, Missing Space.
Been running the group since then. Netanyahu said he was probably killed in an Israeli strike on May 13th in Khan Yunis, but they obviously did not say that they are certain they have killed him. It obviously would be very significant, although it's worth noting that, you know, since his brother's death, Hamas has obviously continued being able to fight. And then, as you were saying,
exactly.
Otherwise in this speech, Benjamin Netanyahu utterly defiant, despite intense international pressure and growing international pressure demanding that Israel end its new offensive in Gaza and lift its humanitarian aid blockade. Netanyahu saying that he will not do that he will keep fighting, and saying that Israel will not end this war until Hamas is entirely eliminated. and disarmed, and saying that he's ready to do so even if European countries begin to sanction Israel for this. So an utterly defiant performance from Benjamin Netanyahu here, Terry.
He doesn't give a fuck about sanctions from European nations when the United States is gonna fucking cup his nuts until, like, his last day. We're fucking, like Marco Rubio, I love Israel, I love Israel. Like, fucking Kamala Harris and Trump had an Israel off during the fucking debate. Do you remember that? When he was like, you hate Israel, and she was like, actually, I love Israel. And she was like, you hate Israel. He was like, I'm the best for Israel. What the fuck are you talking about?
And Patrick, does it seem with this determination to get the last Hamas fighter out of Gaza, they're basically making the rubble bounce there, it seems to me. There's really so much destroyed there. Does it seem to you as if the Trump plan to essentially displace the people of Gaza is part of the agenda, the hidden part of the agenda of Netanyahu's determination to take total control security-wise?
Yes, bro. Trump refers to Gaza as good real estate. He refers to it as like beachfront property. When Trump sees the rubble, all he sees is rubble. That's what he sees. He doesn't see the dead bodies and the destruction and the destroyed families and the fucking ended bloodlines and the decapitated babies. That's not what he sees. He sees open land for a fucking beachfront Trump tower. Verbatim. Don't you remember when he posted that fucking AI video on Instagram? Trump, Gaza #1. Peace and love for everyone. Like, brother! Wah!
Eyes of Gaza?
So in this speech, Terry, Benjamin Netanyahu said that they were operating according to President Trump's vision, which is presumably a reference to President Trump's proposal that Palestinians will leave Gaza and it will become a resort. And we have heard in recent days in Israel's parliament a number of politicians saying that they want this to go ahead. They want to see...
Wait, did you just...
Parliament, a number of politicians to President Trump's proposal that Palestinians will leave Gaza and it will become a resort. And we have...
I love how he brushes over that. Well, President Trump's proposal is that the Palestinians will leave Gaza and it will become a resort. A resort? Brother, the Riviera of the Middle East.
Have heard in recent days in Israel's parliament a number of politicians saying that they want this to go ahead. They want to see Palestinians finally leave entirely Gaza. Benjamin Netanyahu did not say that. He did not talk about forcibly displacing Gazans, but he did say that Israel will take full security control, and he repeated again.
Because no one's gonna take them, dog. No one's gonna take them. So he has nowhere to put him. So he's like, fuck it. We're just going to fucking bomb him. That's what's going to happen. Where do you think they're going to go?
And again, that Hamas will have no place in Gaza and that they will have to disarm. He also spoke about this controversial plan that Israel has to provide aid through private American companies and say that it will be done in what he called sterile zones where civilians will be able to come. This plan has already been completely condemned by pretty much all major international aid agencies that say that it would violate a fundamental principle of providing aid in a non-discriminatory way and being able to make sure that it's not politicized and that it's to all sides. And right now, as you say, the UN has said that as of today, despite Israel saying that it is allowing basic food into Gaza, the UN says that so far no trucks have been able to enter Gaza, Terry.
And oh my God.
Just a terrible situation that continues.
Oh my God. They're holding pans, bro. They're begging for food.
There.
Yo, don't forget that 75% of the population of Gaza are under the age of 25. 50% are under the age of 18. That's fucking nuts, bro. That's horrific. I wish I could soften the blow for you, but I can't. Yeah, Israel is going to conquer every last square inch of Gaza. The United States is going to fund it. Israel also, breaking news, is about to bomb Iranian nuclear facilities. And Trump said that he will join in the fight and lead the way. We covered that a while ago, so make sure you check out that video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Good luck. Oh, hit that video right there. Okay. That video was rough. So Trump's big beautiful bill hasn't even passed yet. The GOP doesn't even know if they want to do this. Divided House GOP tries to push Trump's tax bill over the finish line. Remember to take some mental health days. Brother, I just got back from a weekend trip. And it was great. And then, like, this isn't about mental health. There's nothing anybody can do about this. This is just simply the state of the world. This is just reality. Like, there's nothing. What the fuck? What do I do? Can we get a Beans palate cleanser? Yeah. Bean. 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 Okay. Wow, Wayne. Bye. Walking through the woods helps. Brother, my trip was to the woods. I went to the woods. They're in the woods. They're in the woods. Hold on. Where is it? They're in the woods. Walking Dead. Why can't I find the clip? Dude, Twitter sucks. Rick Grimes. All right. I'm going to end the stream, guys. I'm going to make some thummies without you so that I don't lose a million fucking frame rates. And then I'm going to make some dinner. Thank you for tuning into the Valenti Videos broadcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Costs you nothing. Helps me immensely. All right. All right. All right.